Welcome to another awesome fall day in Canada. It's still green. In a couple of weeks it's gonna be all gray. Today the purpose of my video is to create a buyer's guide for people who wants to get into the 300ZX cars, or they are also called the Nissan Fairladies. And if you are a subscriber to the channel, you know I love Fairladies. I had a couple of them. I also like regular ladies. Fairladies are just fine. I had a couple of them, and this is the car that I have now, and it's a unique one. It's a 1993 twin turbo. Has a bunch of upgrades. Dynoed at 450 at the wheel. Well, that's another video. I can put a link in the description. You can check that. But today I wanted to basically make a buyer's guide. As you already know, these cars are pretty old. The last car came to North America was, I believe, in 1996. That gives a couple of years. Now, these cars are very prone to rust. Unfortunately, that is the case. 90s Japanese car. First thing you need to notice, rust on these cars. It has to be perfectly clean. You have to check the inside of the gas cap. For rust, it should be clean. Cleaner than myself, but it's no rust, it's just dirt. You have to check all the wheel wells. These areas has to be perfect. These areas needs to be perfect. Now the other area is where this piece is metal at the T-top, and I have, you can see, I have a wrap in it, but somebody was trying to hide a little bit of rust. Find a car without that. Okay, your T-top should be clean. Another piece is this corner. It doesn't really have any rust or anything like that. I don't really know why the previous owner put a strap of carbon fiber, whatever. Now, I'm gonna show you the underbody. The rear end needs to be very clean. All these tie rods are very prone to rust. This is my exhaust. Don't worry about the exhaust because it's very inexpensive to replace. All the rear end components, especially the control arms, bushings. Keep an eye on the bushings because from the factory it came with rubber bushings, and you know, it's because it's almost like 25 years, those bushings crack. Ideally, buy a car which somebody upgraded those bushings to urethane, and then you're set, and the car is more dialed, better handling out on the corner. You buy a 300ZX not for dragging, but to go on a circuit. Now from the body, I'm gonna go to the back. I'll start from behind because I want to keep everything organized. Just keep it in your mind. It's not clean because I was working in here. This piece, this shade, this privacy shade, make sure whichever car you get, this area is not peeling. This area is solid. The other thing is over here, the rubber gasket leaks, and then the water comes through here, and somehow it gets in from there to the corner. Under this, it's a pick to take it off. That's why I'm not taking it off, but I'm going to show you. It's right under here. That's where the water puddles. Make sure it doesn't. If it does, then there's going to be a hole, and it's not pretty. And same thing with the right under here. That I apologize, I have a bunch of crap in here, or else I would have shown you. Right under here is the spare wheel. and take the spare wheel off, because you need to see if there's any rust under the spare wheel. Another is, make sure you have these tools with the car. These are aluminum tools and they make the car more authentic. On this end, same story. Check all the corners for water. These cars are very prone to water leakage. Don't shy away from a car which is leaking water but doesn't have rust. If you ask me, I'll just negotiate to a very low price, and the moment I get them, there are a bunch of places you can buy these rubber, and they are very inexpensive, and do it yourself. From the back, we move up. Inside the cockpit, it's there's very few things can go wrong. Make sure all the motors and the seat work. It's pretty hard to rebuild these seats, and or else if you want to go with the aftermarket seat, then make sure you negotiate. My car came with the Alcantara interior, and if you, as you can notice, around here, there's a little bit of worn out. Try to find a car which has a little bit less wearing. The leather. Back in the day, these came with very high quality leather. But if somebody didn't take care of it, they're going to crack and it's going to look ugly. So make sure you purchase a vehicle which has been taken care of. When I purchased it, this vehicle had a little bit of car brush here, so a little bit of fading of leather. I know a guy who does a very good job in rebuilding them, so we rebuilt this. It looks pretty good. Now, going to the engine. That's where the biggest issue is. These cars are they are reliable when you're not dragging them, tracking them, and whatnot. If you are, then this is not. People will tell you these cost a lot of money to keep up. They cost almost as much as an air-cooled Porsche. An air-cooled Porsche also cost 100 grand to start. These doesn't cost 100 grand to start. These cost about, depending on where you are, the condition, 12 to 15 grand to start. But you know, if you go with a manual, some very specific cars, then you're in the money. I'm gonna start from the shocks. From 1993 onwards, they came with these electronic damping shocks, so you can flick a switch for sports and comfort. If you buy a car with an aftermarket shocks, good. If not, make sure that those actuators work or the shocks work. Okay, please somebody leave it in the comment section how to check these work, because I don't really know. What I did, I was pretty certain my ones did not work. So what I did was I found a old new stock, and it was very pricey for the factory shocks, and I bit the bullet and went with it. The Heika system. Make sure the Heika system works. The only way to check it works is you have to take a corner, and your RPM needs to be, first of all, you have to take a corner, your steering has to be over 45 degrees turn, and your RPM needs to be around 2000 for the Heika system to kick in, or else the system doesn't kick in. Don't buy a car where either the Heika's delete was performed, or the Heika system doesn't work. If the Heika's delete was performed, those cars are usually high horsepower cars, like 600 horses and up. People do the Heika's delete. I understand why, but prefer not to buy a car like that. The second is, on these cars, the PTU. That's the PTU unit. Problem with this unit is it's old school technology. That's the unit sends the firing signals to the cylinders, and over the years these have transistors instead of circuit boards. The transistors pop or they wear out, and you'll find yourself in the middle of the highway sitting squat. So there is, if you go to Z1 Motorsports or Concept Z website, you can find a new style PTU. They're a little expensive. They're about $185 US, and then shipping and by the time you get it to your hand, it's going to be close to 280 Canadian dollar. And also make sure you buy another harness, because the new style PTU won't work with this connector, and that harness is, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's about 50 US. So as I said, it's not cheap. And the second issue is these are the coil plug connectors. Because it's an old car, these connectors, they wear out. On this one, some electrical grease has been applied, which is, it always helps with the process. But these connectors wear out. So you can buy the connectors pretty cheap. They're like $50. You can buy the whole set. And depending on your soldering skills, you can resolder them up, and they work pretty good. Coil packs. They are very expensive. Super expensive. OEM, all new stock, is almost $200 a piece. But you can get aftermarket coil packs. A lot of people uses the R8 coil pack. It's from Volkswagen. And still, those are $600. Not cheap. The coil packs may go because of the age. The next one in the list would be the detonation sensor. Right now, I have the detonation sensor relocated here, because in any Nissan, in the old one, even on the VQ series, the detonation sensor goes, and if you have to get to the sensor and whatnot, you need to take the film out. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And what else? I believe that's pretty much it. Well, the other thing is, because of the twin turbo and the funny organization, the turbo on the left feeds the right side of the engine, and the right feeds the left side of the engine. So there's a lot of vacuum lines going across. This car is prone for vacuum leaks. So, go for a vacuum check. Make sure everything is perfect. Everything is fine. Then you'll be fine too. Look what I just found. Okay, this needs to be addressed. Do not like this. Alright. If I miss anything, leave it in the comment section. I know there are people who knows much more about these cars than myself, so leave it in the comment section. And if you like the video, click on the like button, comment and subscribe to my channel, and keep an eye out for more awesome stuff. Thank you.